before I start sharing uh, my screen, but also I'm anticipating that some of you guys have already started your housing process. Uh, just out of curiosity, have you guys already started looking for housing? Have you guys already signed a lease? Um, are we still waiting for your visa interview? What's going on? Okay. During our last live stream, I did kind of mention a little bit about the, I did kind of show what the off-campus housing was going to look like. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit more in detail about what on-campus housing options are available for you, what they look like. Although please do remember that housing on campus is first come, first serve. So the sooner you get it done, the better. I did see on their residential website that even if you end up not getting your visa for some reason, they will refund the deposit. So we'll talk a little bit more. Today is, again, like I mentioned, it's a really sunny day here, so I'm in a pretty good mood. I have my coffee, and I am going to show you guys my screen. My team members that are usually here, Violet and JJ, they're not here today. We have a lot of stuff happening in the office right now, so it's extremely busy. So if you guys reach out to us for this week and the next week, you might get some uh delays in email responses, especially if you email me. So I just wanted to make sure I let you guys know now. But with that, if my cat comes in, I'm working from home today, so if my cat comes in, I'll bring her to the screen so you guys can say hi to her. Okay. It looks like some of you guys are still waiting for your visa interview, which completely understandable. So, okay. All right, so today we are literally just going to be talking about housing, just on-campus housing and off-campus housing. So it can help you kind of decide what might be best for you. Um, if you guys remember, I used to be an international student that came to MSU, and so I can also talk about my experiences looking for housing and how that worked out for me, depending on what you guys want to hear. So, I am going to be relying a lot on you guys today to ask me questions that you have. If there's questions that I am unable to answer, I will redirect you guys to the right people. So, here are some housing options or the housing options for you. You can either choose to live on campus, which is going to be in the dorm rooms. We also have a university apartment, which is essentially an apartment, but they are going to be off-campus locations. But all the billing and stuff, because it's still with the university, all the billing is going to happen on e-services and you're not paying separate for it, which is really nice if you want that off-campus living, but also you kind of also want to be um, kind of connected with the on-campus community. And the final option is off-campus housing, which we'll talk more about. So with on-campus housing, there are three types of rooms that you're looking at. You either have the standard room, the suites, or the apartments. So there's three options there, okay? The application process is relatively simple. You have to be admitted to the university, complete housing application, which is on your e-services portal, which you should know how to get to at this point. If you don't, please let me know. And then once you complete your housing contract, you also have a prepayment of a $250 deposit. Now that deposit is used to hold your room for you, but again, the sooner you apply, the sooner you can get the room that you want. So if you wanted a suite, I would start sooner. But because it's already June now, it might be a little bit harder to get the choice that you want. So it's in your best interest to keep in contact with residential housing. The international office, although we do work with the residential housing, we do not have access to what rooms are available, what the numbers are, or anything like that. So the best advice I can give you is to reach out to residential housing directly so that they can tell you exactly where they are at capacity, what are the chances of you getting the room you want, because fall is a pretty hectic semester because we have domestic students come in, we have international students flying in, so it can be a bit chaotic otherwise. The university apartment, you have a few options here for you. With the university apartment, you can either get a 3 to 5 bedroom apartment, so you would be sharing it with other peers, other students on campus. It's located just 2 blocks from campus, though, so that is a question I also get from students is like, how far is the university apartment if it's off campus? It's about 2 blocks from campus, and it stops every 2 to 12 minutes, the bus stops. Um, Remember that the buses are free to use as long as you have your student ID card with you. I've been mentioning this over a few of our webinars already, but the bus stops every 2 to 12 minutes, which is really, really nice, Monday through Friday. They also do run on the weekends, just not as frequently. All of the apartments are fully furnished. What does fully furnished mean? It means that the apartment will come with a bed frame, mattress, usually a study table and a study desk, um, and like some other furniture like a couch and things like that. It comes fully furnished, so you don't have to go out of your way to buy it. This is one thing this is one reason why living on campus or in a university housing or in a fully furnished apartment off campus is so nice, is because remember, if you're getting an apartment that's not furnished, excuse me, and you come to the US, say in July, when you come in, there's going to be nothing in your apartment. So you'll have to make sure that you order stuff on time. So if you're going to get a mattress, bed frame, that all needs to be ordered on time. Otherwise, you might be sleeping on the floor the first couple days if you don't have any furniture in the apartment. So this is why I sometimes recommend getting a fully furnished apartment. They also do tend to be a little bit more expensive than an unfurnished apartment, which makes sense. But if it's fully furnished, you do not have to like think about more things, and it takes some things off your plate. With the university apartment, there's also free laundry in every building. What this means is it might not be in your apartment, the washer and dryer, but in each building, there's going to be a little room, like a little space. I'm saying little, but they're usually not that little, but there's going to be space for laundry in each building, which is really nice. So you don't have to go outside to do laundry every time. I've lived in apartments where the building didn't have any laundry room, and so I would have to drive to a laundromat, do laundry, and come back home, which it takes a lot of time and it takes up a lot of like just energy, just dragging stuff. So having laundry in the building or in your units or in your apartments is always, always a really nice bonus. So if you're looking for apartments still, definitely kind of think about that. Because I know like in my home country, a lot of times people just wash their clothes by hand. Can't do that. It's too I can't do it. And after a while you get kind of used to having a washing machine do your laundry, and then there's a whole other layer to it. If you live in a university apartment, you also get free parking. So if you're planning to buy a car, they'll give you a parking pass that you put in your car. So there's that. And then the meal plan option is also included. Give me a sec. Um, and then also the meal plan option is included, like the last time we talked about it. So if you wanted to, even if you're living off campus, if you don't want to cook, that's completely okay. You can still get the meal plan option. And there's a few options for the meal plans. If you want me to talk a little bit more about it, I can absolutely do that. I am just looking at the Q&A. All right. Talha, you've selected Stadium Heights. It's really nice. I think you'll really like it. And overall, the environment on campus is very welcoming. It's a really supportive community. And also because it's the university, I guess, apartment, it's also a lot easier on you to again, like I said, pay the bills. It's all going to be on e-services. There's bus services as well for you. Um, and if anything were to come up where you had some worries or qualms, always, always bring it up to your CA, who is going to be your community advisor. All of our dorms and apartments usually have a CA or RA or residential advisor, and these are the people you go to if you have questions, if you have any concerns at all, go to them right away and tell them what's going on. But again, overall experience, it's a very welcoming university overall. And so if you feel like something is going on and you're worried about it, always make sure you bring it up to the right people, which is you can come to us in the office, you can talk to your CARA or someone in the residential unit. But again, come with an open mind. I am hopeful that this will be a positive experience for all of you as it has been for me. So, but that's a really good question, Tala. Okay, housing comparison. I know we already talked about it a little bit before, so this graph is probably really familiar to you, but the on-campus and off-campus housing costs at the end of the day doesn't vary a lot, unless you live in an apartment, like in a five-bedroom apartment, because a five-bedroom apartment is going to cost you less because there's more people in the unit. Um, with on-campus housing, it requires a 1 to 2 semester contract, a $240 deposit, and also has many options of whether you want to live in a suite or if you want to live with four other people, which is completely up to you. Those are the options available depending on what budget you have. There's full meal plan options for you, but the best thing is the meal plans, even if you live off campus and not in an like an apartment like the university apartment, you can still purchase the meal plan. So if you're someone that absolutely hates cooking, this might be a good option for you to look into is you can live off campus but still also have a meal plan. And honestly, meal plans are also really, I think it makes life a little bit easier, especially during midterms and finals week when you just don't have time to cook. And there's only so much microwavable meals you can have before it's like unhealthy for you. So definitely look into it. We can definitely look at it together as well if you want, but you guys will have to let me know. On-campus housing, you live on campus. It's a very short walk to classes and other events. We also have found statistically that students that live on campus tend to have a slightly higher GPA, but that does not mean that students off campus don't. I think the biggest thing with living on campus is you have immediate access to a lot of resources that you might need. Compared to off campus because you'd have to get on the bus or walk to school, but also walking is healthy for you. So whatever floats your boat. And also, we have the free bus service. So, again, even if you're living off campus, you have resources to be able to get to campus on time. On campus housing, everything is included in one bill that's paid on e-services. And off campus housing, you'll be responsible for paying rent and utilities monthly on time to avoid late fees. Late fees are very immediate here in the US, and so you have to make sure you have a reminder set on your phone, your planner, whatever tool you use to ensure that you're paying everything on time. I find it helpful to have everything on auto pay, so every month the money just kind of leaves my account and goes into paying whatever needs to get paid. Especially for utilities, my electricity, Wi-Fi bill, I have everything set on auto pay. So a certain day of the month, they just take that money from me and it's just easier for me because I don't have to think about it. All right, a few important terms. I've mentioned a lot of like very big terms, I feel, because I didn't know what a lease was when I came here. Like, I knew what a lease was, but I didn't know how important it was. And so every time I say lease, it is a contract where the landlord of the apartment they're staying in allows you, the renter, to use their property for a specific period of time in exchange for a payment. Leases are generally 12 months off campus. I know there are some that are 6 months, but generally speaking, off campus leases are 12 months long. Leases do not always include utilities, so utilities are basic services like water, sewer, electricity, gas, trash, recycling, Wi-Fi even. Those are your basic utilities. Most apartments will not cover utilities, all utilities, they'll cover some, but they'll generally not cover all of it. And so you are responsible yourself to sign up for these utilities separately, and you are also billed separately. So to your apartment housing, you're only paying for that contract amount that you have. That doesn't include the utilities. Most apartments, again, will not include all utilities. And personally, I pay for gas, electricity, and Wi-Fi. And water and trash recycling are included with my lease. So anything for gas, electricity, and Wi-Fi, I have separate accounts for those. I see that Taha, you have a question. Will the $250 dining dollar meal help those in hectic days, as you mentioned? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's such a great question. And I can see that you've done a lot of research, so that makes me very happy. But yes, that should really, really help with hectic days. Also, you could also, like, even if you don't want to do the $250 dining meal, you can always still go to the office and say, "Hey, I want $100 of dining dollars on my account right now," and still add that to your dining dollar meal plan. And the dining dollar meal plan goes straight to your student ID card. So whenever you get food and you're checking out, you just scan your math card and not anything else. So that's kind of how that works. Okay. Another few things to remember is that lease is a legal binding contract and you cannot just leave the apartment midway through the lease. It's very, 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 very important that you read the lease carefully and completely before signing it and returning it. Because once you sign it, you cannot back out. That's your apartment now. So be very careful. If you're working with someone else, so if you have a friend that's coming with you, if you meet someone that's coming with you, both of you need to be on the same page about the lease that you're going to sign because both of you are going to be equally responsible once it's signed. So be very careful about that. You could also be asked to get renter's insurance, so make sure you read your lease. A renter's insurance is essentially just like it says, it's an insurance that in case something happens, in case there's a fire, in case there's damage, they'll cover the insurance will like come in and cover that for you, especially if it's like things that you had no control over, fire, flooding, things like that. I am actually going to go into, mm, I'm missing some slides. Why am I missing slides? I'm also going to actually, since I'm missing a few slides, I'm going to go into the off-campus housing search website, and then we can kind of look at some housing together, and I'll tell you guys how to look at that information and know exactly what that means. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Do you guys have any other questions for the time being? Um, I am looking at some questions. Nasifa, waiting for the visa interview. Good luck on that. I'm sure you'll do amazing. Mohammed is also waiting for a visa interview slot. Good luck. I know you guys are going to do so great. Marie says, I have a question. I recently got my visa and I am asking what is the earliest date. So the earliest date that you can arrive in the US is July 19th. So good luck. I mean, wait, congratulations on your visa, Marie. As you're getting travel arrangements done and you're looking into booking your flights, just make sure it's after July 19th. Jones, I see that you've raised your hand. I don't know if you raised it right now or earlier, but if you have any question, just leave it in the chat and I will get to you. I am just going to quickly pull up our off-campus housing options. If you guys hear some like noise in the background, I'm really sorry. Okay, off-campus. And I'm gonna leave the links for you in the chat, guys, so that you guys have that option. Okay. No worries, Murray. Okay. All right, so this is the website I'm on right now for housing. This has both links for the I'm gonna send that to everyone. Okay, and this has links for both on-campus and off-campus housing, so you can kind of take a look at that. I am going to actually go into off-campus housing right now, starting off with that. All right, so here is the kind of, it's like linked with our website, so I think it makes things a little bit easier because everything is in one spot. But here is where you would go into current listings. So let's take a look at a few together and I'll tell you guys how I would interpret what I'm seeing on the screen. As you can see, our campus is right here. So we do have quite a few apartments that's very, very close. We have some that are further away, so if you already will have a car, these might be good options for you to look into. Now I'm gonna actually scroll and zoom in and to like closer to campus. Um, my cat is here, so you guys can say hi to her. This is Micah. You want to say hi? You say hi? She's more curious about going out, so, but yeah, this is my cat. She has many thoughts right now. I picked her up, so she's a little confused. She's a little baby. Okay. Anyway, um, let's take a look at mm, Highland. No particular reason. I'm just kind of selecting Highland because I want to. All right, so I'm gonna go in here and click on that right there. Perfect. Boom. That pulls up the Highland Hill option. There's also a phone number here that you can call if you have any questions, which is good. And then when you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see some options. So depending on what your budget is, what you're looking at, you can just choose to narrow those down to 1 bedroom, 3 or 4+. The 4+ bedrooms are obviously going to be a little bit cheaper. I know the price here is about the same for all of it, kind of. But let's take a look at a 3 bedroom. So the 3 bedroom, 1 bath is 1,329 for the total. So you would divide this by 3, which would be, where's my phone? I am not good at math, guys. 29 divided by 3. So this would be 450 per person, but we don't know if this includes utilities or not, right? It didn't say. It just says 1,329 to 1,389 for per month. So obviously you can do a tour. Um, nice kitchen, nice big kitchen. Importantly, there's a dishwasher. Yes, there's a dishwasher here, which is nice. I love my dishwasher. The bedrooms, so you'll see a few of the bedroom layouts, what they look like. And usually there's also like a 3D, and then it also tells you exactly where it is. I'm actually looking for the map, but I guess not. All right. So, yeah, you can take a look at the model. That's what I was gonna say. But it didn't say if it includes all utilities or not. So let's scroll down a little bit more. 1329 for 1 bathroom. There's also a 3 bed 2 bath, which is a little bit more expensive, but it comes with 2 bathrooms. So that's nice. And right here, lease term, 12 months. So if you were to sign a lease with this property right now, it would be a 12-month or a 1-year lease. So keep that in mind. Also, it'll say if a unit is available or not right now. Apparently the 3 bedroom is available now. The 3 bedroom, 1 bath, which is this one right here, is not available yet. So just make sure under the availability, it does say it's available. If you see here, it says 0.1 miles walking distance to Minnesota State Mankato, which is really good. It's not a long walk. Now, utilities, trash removal included. So, which tells us that it's not going to include any of the other utilities like Wi-Fi, gas, electricity, water. So you got to take a look at that as well. If okay, that's a good question. So someone just asked, is the apartment furnished? So let's take a look if it says that. Usually, if an apartment is furnished, it'll say right here that it's furnished. What does this mean? By the bed leasing. That's another term that I don't know if you guys are familiar with. What this means is when you sign a lease in this 3 bedroom, 1 bath, you're signing a lease for your bedroom only. So, does that make sense? So, you'll be signing a lease for your bedroom, but obviously you'll still have access to the kitchen and everything, but you're signing a lease by the bedrooms. So, it could just mean that if someone else, you could be you could have random roommates, which again, most of the time, roommates for apartment housings are always other college students. But if you're someone that doesn't want to live with strangers, maybe the 3 bedroom is not a good option for you. and it might be a good option for you to, it might be a good thing for you to ask. You can call Highland to say if they do roommate matching or not, because most apartments actually do roommate matching. So you could say that you would much rather live with another international roommate or something like that. Let's take a look at something else. This is a furnished apartment. I know for sure, I think. I could be wrong. Mm, yes, okay. Let's take a look at Summit and Jacob Heights. This is another closer to campus apartment housing. Again, it says shared housing, which means your roommates are usually going to be strangers. So let's take a look at the two bedroom. Okay, this is nice though with Summit and Jacob Heights is they'll tell you exactly how much each bedroom is going to cost. So here, the 2 bed, 2 bath, you'll have your own bathroom, which is nice. It's not available though, so just keep that in mind. Let's get a 3 bed, 2. Okay, they're not available. Okay, 4 bed, 2 bath, $4.99 a bedroom for 4 residents, and it's available now. This is also not a bad option, and the bus actually goes to Summit. The bus service actually goes to a lot of off-campus apartments. So if you're living somewhere and you're like, I don't know if the bus is going to come there, more likely than not, it will. But it's also always a good option to confirm. Let's take a look. Convenient for whoever these people are. 12-month lease. So again, keep that in mind. It is shared housing, which means you will be living with other people, and it could be very well be other strangers that you don't know. Apartment descriptions is always good to know, good to note, which means they do have a gym. I know they have like a fitness center. They have a recreation center. I know they have like pool and stuff like that. A 26-person hot tub. If you wanted these features, those are definitely available. Other few things, full-size washer and dryer included, which is awesome. That means you do not have to go out to do your laundry. Fully equipped kitchens, furnished and unfurnished units available. So you get to decide what you want, which is good. Um, and then it says they have internet up to, okay, they do have internet included. So you do not have to pay for Wi-Fi. That's always good. And it says you have a self-service roommate matching. So you will be able to complete a roommate matching survey or something to find someone that fits best for you. Wi-Fi throughout the community and internet included in every apartment. So that's one thing you do not have to worry about. It doesn't say if there are other utilities included, so I'm assuming that you're going to be paying for everything else as well on top of the like 470 per bedroom. So hopefully this kind of helps you understand the leasing and then the utilities aspect of it. If you guys have any other questions, please leave it in the chat or the Q&A tab so that I can get to it. I'm just going to quickly look at a question. Talha said, can you tell me if I can add housing fees in a Nelnet plan? That is a really good question, Talha, that I do not have the answer to. I would recommend reaching out to residential housing, which is going to be, I believe it's residential at mnsu.edu, but I'm not sure. Residential. Mhm. Yep, it's reslife at mnsu.edu. I would recommend reaching out to them and just double checking, confirming that that's an option that's available. Um, yeah. Oh, I just noticed that you guys did say hi to Micah. Yeah, she's looking outside the window right now. That's one of her favorite things to do is look outside the window and she looks at birds. She just turned 5 this year. I'm a big cat person. Are you guys cat people or dog people? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. Are you guys a dog person or a cat person or other animals? Up to you. But I'm actually going to leave the ResLife email in the chat for you. Cat, ResLife. I am a big cat person. I do like dogs. I do like dogs, but I myself am a very big cat person, which makes sense. I have a cat. I feel like dogs are also a little bit more work because you have to like take them out on walks and stuff, and I'm just really busy a lot of the times. But I do take my cat out on walks. She likes to go outside. I put her on a leash, like a dog, and she likes to go on walks with me. I usually do that when I'm free, but she really does enjoy being outside and going on walks with me. Okay, let's see what other questions. Anonymous said, "What about those who have not gone for interview by now? For those that have not gone on your interview yet, um, I think if you wanted to wait until after you have a decision, that's completely okay. Um, However, realistically, I also want to make sure that you guys know that housing can be pretty competitive. And so the sooner you sign up for housing, the better it is for you. Off campus, I would wait on because, again, remember, once you sign that lease, you cannot back out. So if you want to live on campus, off campus, I would wait until you have a good understanding of whether, yeah, if you get your visa, then you know, like, okay, I'm actually going to be there. So then you can start looking for housing off campus. But if you don't have your visa yet, I would kind of hold off on signing a lease, at least off campus. Um, I was gonna look at something that was related to that. Oh, yes, MNSU International Residential. So this is a very, very useful tool website actually for students. Um, because this has all of the information for international students. I'm going to share that in the chat for you as well if you're looking into on-campus housing anonymous. But they also have an interview that they did with
And I live on campus.
international students. So you can kind of watch this video.
Hello, I'm Bethel Gebrigurgis. I'm from Ethiopia and I'm living on campus. Hey, my name is Lillian and I'm from Norway and I live on campus. Hi, my name is Desiree. I'm from Venezuela and I live on
Yeah, so there's, again, a lot of students that live on campus. I would recommend watching this interview as well to kind of understand why they choose to stay on campus, what they like about living on campus, uh, what they would do differently. This is a very, very good video. But if you see here, it does say if you apply for housing and are unable to come due to visa complications, we will fully refund your $250 payment. So if you're living on campus, they do have a no-risk housing option for you. But I would encourage you to go through all of this timeline, and then also these little sections right here to really help you understand, because this is a really important guide. I really like this guide. So on-campus, off-campus comparison guide. This is very, and then see, they'll also break down what the cost of like utilities would bring you, like an on average. This is all estimated, okay? This is not like a, this is how much it's gonna cost. So just keep that in mind. But this is, I think, a very important tool as well to look at. So I'm actually going to leave that also in the chat. Dog person. Okay, Nazifa and Marion are dog people. I do like dogs. I do like dogs. I like big dogs though. One of my favorite dogs are Rottweilers. So if I were to ever get a dog, I'd probably get a Rottweiler, but they're also very expensive. So maybe not. Nazifa, I like animals. I like baby goats. That is very interesting, though. Like you said, I agree. They are very cute, though. I agree. Unless they start shouting, is so funny. Um, yeah, goats shouting can be kind of annoying. They are cute, though. Okay, cool, cool, cool. As the new applicants right now don't have any interview slots, the new appointment slots are off. What should they do? I would encourage kind of keeping an eye on the news. We are also doing our best to we are actively monitoring the situation. And anytime we have any updates, we've been emailing students for the fall semester. But the biggest thing to do right now is to stay put. If you already have a visa interview, please do not cancel it. Please still show up for your interview. Assume that it's still happening. But if you're still waiting for a slot and let's say you kind of miss out on being able to apply for the like to a visa interview for the fall semester, just know that our deferral process is actually relatively very, very simple. And so then we can defer you over to the spring. We obviously don't want you to have to do that. We would love for you to come here as soon as possible. But if things were to some things were to happen and you weren't able to get a visa interview, we can always defer you for the spring semester. Just send us an email and we'll help you through the process. Lillian did say hi, Marie, but I think you posted it in the Q&A. I don't know if you meant to post it in the chat. So, Lillian, Marie, Lillian says hi. Okay. Just for those that are chatting in the chat box right now, I do want to let you guys know that I will very soon, I'm hoping in the next couple weeks, be sending out a WhatsApp group link. So I'm still figuring out the details with that. I'm having a lot of issues with setting up that WhatsApp group, but you guys will receive an email, I'm hoping the next couple weeks, with an invitation link, an invite link to a WhatsApp channel, and you'll be able to connect with each other there as well. So just keep an eye out on your email. I know you guys are connecting as well right now, which is awesome. But if you guys wanted to also wait until you guys get an email from me about a WhatsApp link, you guys will all be able to connect with each other as well there. I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay. I know you guys are like, I am going to have to quickly dip out. Um, but if you guys want to wait until you guys have like my WhatsApp link, that's totally okay too. All right, cool. Mohammed and Tala, I know you guys are trying to exchange Instagrams, so I'm gonna let you quickly do that, and then I'm gonna have to end this session because I don't think anybody else has any questions. But everybody else that's just joining, let's see, I have a few of you guys in the chat right now. Jones, Bianca, Lillian, Marianne, Marie, Mishak, Mohammed, Nazifa, Balaji, Ruth, Talha, Tendo. Okay, I will be sending you guys a link for a WhatsApp group very soon. So I am trying to figure that out. Once that's done, I will let you guys know. All right, sounds great. Mohammed. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to quickly end the live. No, you're good, Tala. I can wait a little bit. I know that you and Mohammed were trying to connect. So, Mohammed, if you want to take that Instagram really quickly, I'm going to quickly check on our YouTube if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, okay, Mohammed, do you have him, Talha's Instagram? Perfect. All right. I will have to end the live now, but I'm hoping that we can chat soon. We have a few other sessions coming up, so please do join those. I will have my colleagues there at that time, so we can hang out then. But have a great rest of your day, evening, night, wherever you are.